increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
Enhance can be purchased at Citygate Bar, the CDC opposite the market, Dexter's Car Wash on Chaussee Road, Plants Place on the Dennery Highway, Arlette Supermarket in Soufriere, the Release Stress Bar on the Labrie Highway, and Cool Joint Bar in Victoria, Choiseul.
You can get your Enhance at Prio's Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Gurzile Bus Stop. Prio's Bar and Grill in Corinth, Gurzile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Real estate transactions are now made easy. Whether buying, selling, or renting residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, or touristic property, we offer the best deals in real estate transactions with professional support, including valuation, material sourcing, and construction. Contact Ed Harris and Associates, your courteous and efficient real estate agents. Call 485-1456 or email caribbiz@gmail.com.
Well, it's quite a scorcher today, but that hasn't stopped our distance runners from coming out and giving off their very best.
Zephyr is leading the pack. He passed the first water stop. Let's see what happens here.
Wow, he wants none of that. He's passed it straight again.
He needs to rehydrate at some point on this blistering hot day.
And now Zephyr is approaching the third water stop. He has quite a lead.
Well, he's actually stopping.
Well, that's because Zephyrus probably knows that Forest Springs is all natural mineral water, and unlike other purified bottled waters which have a more acidic pH, it's actually more alkaline and therefore better for our bodies. Did you know that?
I was unaware.
Well, now we're off again. That was a pause for a cause. Zephyrus looking in great shape to win this one.
Forest Springs. Taste the difference.
Uptown's Liquor. Not only is Uptown's Liquor home to the largest selection of spirits, but also an exclusive variety of groceries. Uptown's Liquor, serving you from 1975, is proud to offer some of the world's most exclusive spirits, with over 1,000 spirits and wines available. At Uptown's Liquor store, we strive to offer an incredible selection of liqueurs and spirits. We are always looking for new favorites and local treats with a well-tended liquor section. We have what customers are looking for at the best prices in town. Everything from basics to Hennessy, Scotch, vodka, tequila, rum, cognac, and wines. We focus on having an excellent range of products suited for functions, home liquor cabinets of the everyday person, or the eclectic bar. So when you're thinking of your next party or feast, Uptown Liquor, you can't forget. Uptown's Liquor. We have you covered under one liquor umbrella.
Introducing McDowells Moringa, a natural supplement made from the Moringa oleifera, which contains more than 92 nutrients and 46 types of antioxidants. Moringa is said to cure about 300 diseases and almost have all the vitamins found in fruits and vegetables. Moringa contains 30 anti-inflammatories, 18 amino acids, and 9 essential amino acids. Moringa nourishes the immune system, promotes healthy circulation, supports normal glucose levels, contains natural anti-aging benefits, provides anti-inflammatory support, promotes healthy digestion, promotes heightened mental clarity, boosts energy without caffeine, encourages balanced metabolism, promotes softer skin, provides relief from acne, and supports normal hormone levels. Moringa has no documented side effects. Moringa, the miracle herb, available at Health Service Center.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you at Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of the program, Can I Help You? I'm your host, Richard Frederick. Actually, I was going through my phone desperately, trying to find a picture I took with a young girl yesterday. Yesterday, I was by the market. We're going to put up a pic for me. I'll put up your pic, sweetheart. I can't remember her name. I'm trying to get the post from her. I'm not the message from her. I'm not getting it. But I'll put up your pic, sweetheart, so you'll call me after the show. Put this up for me. A little girl, I was by the market and she said to me, her mother said to me, Mr. Frederick, my little girl will not die if she takes a picture with you. And I felt obligated to have taken a picture with this young girl. Put up the pic for me, please. Okay, he said just now. My technician, you see, yelling at me. I ain't saying anything. Folks, you all hear him yelling at me. Black boy, you must behave. I want to say a special good night to Rosella and Martin Monrose over in the UK. Prayo, Mwesavukavi, Elizabeth Charles and all the others. Lucy, Don McDonald, Albert Fridges, and of course, Val, good night to you. Felicia Daniel, good night to you. Sky Louise, good night. Delma, Fabian, Makla, and all the others, a special good night. You have it now? Okay, put on this pic for me, please. My girl, I'm forgetting your name here, but I promise you I would have put it up. The thing is, Amos, good night, my brother. He took a pic for me and sent it right away, so I was able to download it and send it to the technician. So good night to you. I'll see you another time, and if I remember the name, or if you send me a message to remind me of your name, I'll give you a shout before the show is over. Folks, I'm not going to be here for the duration of the show. You know, we normally end between 10:30 and whatever time, 11. But I want to take the first 45 minutes or so to deal with certain issues. I'm a bit exhausted, but I felt that it would be remiss of me if I did not come to the studio tonight for at least the first segment to clear up some issues. I want to clear up the issue of what persons are saying I said when I never said it. You know, you all have a way of twisting what people say, and you know, I just felt it was incumbent upon me to do that. I also want to deal shortly with a voice note I heard going around, obviously recorded by a hack, and then we get into radicalism, investments or otherwise. Folks, I happened to listen to a voice note recorded by some unintelligent flabo hack. And you could sense that it is this person's burning desire to see the failure of this government. But the person is such a fool. If you are saying Kenny Anthony gave Philip J. Pierre an ultimatum, say so. The person starts by saying, it is reported, but not proven yet. It is reported, but not proven yet. Take a listen to this.
There is mass confusion. It is reported, but not proven yet.
I'm quoting them now. It is reported, but not proven yet. You know, anything that is reported, but cannot be proven, falls squarely within the ambit of nothing else than propaganda. And this is exactly what it is, propaganda. Now, he goes on to say something that he admits he cannot prove it, but he says that Kenny Anthony gave Philip J. Pierre up to the middle of October to get his act together, or else the party goes down. Put your act together, or else the party goes down. Take a listen to this, folks.
That Kenny Anthony has given Philip J. Pierre up to the middle of October to get his act together, or else the party goes down.
You ever hear that? The party goes down. You're referring to a government, but you talk about the party goes down. The only person who's quite capable and can do it effortlessly to bring down a party is no other than Alan SHASTA. He has brought down the United Workers' Party to its knees. Then you know this fool says that if Philip J. Pierre doesn't get his act together, there will be a vote of no confidence and elections will be new. Elections will be near. Take a listen to the idiot for me, please, again.
Repeating, news break. Kenny Anthony has given Philip J. Pierre by the middle of October to get his act together or resign, or there will be a vote of no confidence, which means elections will be new, will be near. Keep your ears to the ground. Keep your ears to the ground.
You know, folks, this is, somebody asked me, why am I entertaining this? You know, I need to, they want publicity. I'm giving them publicity. Because that is, I mean, quite honestly, why do we have such idiots parading under the umbrella of being a sane human being? Why? Why? I don't understand. Breaking news. On one hand, he calls it breaking news. On the other hand, he said it is reported. On the third hand, he said it has not been proven. It has not been proven, but there will be a vote of no confidence. Who will file the vote of no confidence in whom? Which opposition will file the vote of no confidence? Who will support the vote of no confidence? For a vote of no confidence to succeed, it must be supported by a majority of the members of the House. I mean, I don't understand the kind of stupidity that we St. Lucians manifest. You know, come on. Although they say common sense is not common, but you don't expect somebody to be making such a fool of themselves. I mean, that is nonsense. A vote of no confidence is filed, it's moved, and then it's debated and voted upon. There will be a vote of no confidence. A government that just came into office. It is not 2 months since it won the elections. July 26 was when the people of this country sent Alan SHASTA and his cabal packing by giving a resounding mandate to the current government. They came in and already the government has paid all facilities fees for all secondary schools. All, not for some. Something that government had not done for the last 5 years. Flabo had not done. Flabo never did that. The SLP government came in and restarted the laptop program. What did Flabo ask? They came in $500 bursary to every first former. Did UWP do anything like that when things were much better? And tonight we will learn what they did with our money. Soon from now, we will have thousands of laptops descending on this country of ours. Compliments the government of St. Lucia. Compliments the government of St. Lucia. Se vie Flabo sa yo arara. Says Hakifetla. I'm repeating what I heard a man say earlier today. Me say, I drink the vie Flabo arara. You baka just the any bagay. I mean, some of the statements made totally unbelievable. Breaking news. It is reported. It has not been proven yet. You know, gosh, man. I want to know who's that person that recorded that. First of all, you need to go to school to learn to speak the people's English. And when you know you can't speak well, don't record anything for circulation. Stay in your corner. Stay in your corner. You know? Because the more... disability does not necessarily mean you can't walk, you know. Disability doesn't mean you can't use your arms, you know. Disability comes in all different forms, and I suspect you're suffering from some kind of mental disability to come with all that kind of foolishness. Now, folks, last week, I disclosed my personal opinion on the vaccination issue right here. And those with a different perspective, rather than quoting me, you see what I just did? I played the clip. I didn't twist anything. You actually heard what the person said. I did not twist it. You heard it. I expounded and critiqued what I thought was deserving of criticism. I didn't twist anything. And those of you who want to twist what I said, please play the clip. I challenge you, play the clip of what I said. Because you all are saying things I never said. Folks, let me say this. We all have choices. We all have opinions. We all have rights. I respect everyone's choice. Everyone's choice. And I respect everyone's opinion. But not because I respect your choice and opinion means I have to accept it or import it as mine. No. Herein lies the difference. When any of us exercise a choice, we must be prepared to live with the consequences of the choices we make. If you decide to commit murder, that is your choice. But be prepared to live at Bordelais for a period of longevity. You exercise your choice to take a life. The consequences of the exercise of that choice is imprisonment for a long time, or probably even death by hanging. When we make choices, we must understand every choice would have a consequence or consequences. And we must learn to deal with that and accept it. I don't smoke. And I've never been a smoker. It is your choice to smoke. I respect your choice. But don't tell me, because you smoke, you will disabuse your mind to the possibility that smoking can cause cancer. This is a reality. It is a reality. It can be the consequence of a choice that you freely exercise. And we must understand that. Your choice has the consequence. I don't smoke. You can smoke. It's your choice. I respect that. I might drink alcohol. My consequence may be cirrhosis of the liver. That is my choice. That is the consequence to which I submit myself. When you smoke, you may get lung cancer. Those are consequences of the choices we make. So every choice has a consequence. It is your choice to smoke. But it is my choice to tell you, you're not smoking in my house. Those are choices. You're free to exercise your freedom. It is your choice to smoke. But it is my choice to tell you, you cannot smoke in my house. I will respect your choice to smoke. You will respect my choice that nobody is smoking in my house. You don't believe in God. That is you. You're an atheist. It's your choice. It is your choice not to believe in God. It is my choice to believe in God. I'm a renowned believer in the Almighty. So I can say, if you are an atheist and you are not a believer in God, I don't want you at my home. That is my choice. Come on, folks. We have choices. You are a non-believer, I can tell you, you're not bound to believe in God, but the people believe about your path in a kaimwe. Those are choices. Though I can make that choice. I exercise my right. So we need to respect the choices of each other. Respect the choices of each other. And don't twist what persons say to suit your narrative, political or otherwise. You choose to wear your pants under your backside. You know, the young boys, you choose to wear your pants under your backside with your underwear showing. As disgusting as it may be, it is your choice. It is your choice to wear your pants under your backside. As disgusting, as I said, as it may seem. But it is also my choice to tell you that I am not giving you anybody a ride whose pants is under the backside. Let's exercise, that's my choice. It is my vehicle. And I say I'm not giving you a ride if you are dressed in that manner. How am I discriminating against you? You have your choices, I have mine. And personally, I give rights to nobody whose pants is under the backside and the underwear is showing. Sometimes you could see a line reminiscent of feces in the underwear. So it's your choice. Yes, it's yours. I have mine too. I have mine too. Let's respect each other's choices. I chose to take the vaccine. I chose to take it. You choose not to. It's your choice, but respect mine. You know? And I also said, it is my choice if I own a bank, not to give a loan to unvaccinated people. You all have twisted it how you all wanted. If I own a bank, my own PS bank, but that would be my choice. If I own a bank, I can decide what is the criteria I use to lend people money. That is my choice. And if you want the money from me, you have to meet my criteria. That is my choice. It is your choice not to meet the criteria. Don't come to my bank. That's all I'm saying. Respect my choices. I will respect yours. You know, and this is what I said last week. But they have twisted it. And I say banks should not lend people money. I never said that. And I challenge anyone to come in the clip where I said that. I said if Richard Frederick owns a bank, and I maintain that. And this is not, they try and say it's government's position. Folks, this is a Richard Frederick choice. This is my personal choice opinion. That's my personal opinion here. I even went on to say I'll be surprised if just now the banks don't introduce that. You all are taking what I said, twist it, and we all have choices. We all have choices. I'm sure there are people me say, m'avle me say vin bokaima pour telle reason. Good. That is your choice. You have your house. You have your domicile. It is your choice to permit who you want to enter and who you don't want to enter. That's your choice. That is the freedom that you have. You know? All of us have choices. And I will not impose my choice on anybody. But I don't want anybody imposing theirs on me. You know? Look at that. The US said from October 1st, unless you're fully vaccinated, you cannot enter the US. Whose choice was it? It is the choice of the administration of the United States now. Unless another administration comes in, they cannot turn around this thing. You know, or unless this current administration figure, look, let's exercise a different view here. But that is the choice of the administration. All I keep saying, and I'm saying again, And I never said banks should not lie. That this is totally out. When you all want to argue, argue with truth. Argue from a factual standpoint. Don't make up a supposition or pure conjecture and then argue from the standpoint of a fallacy in the first place, because what you're saying was never said. Was never said. And those are personal choices of mine. All I am saying is, folks, and I've said again, I'm saying again, the administration of every country in this world has a choice as to who they permit to enter the country and who they do not want to enter the country. Every individual in this world, the billions of people in this world, each and every one of us, we would have a choice. There are schools of thought that go in different direction. If I was a man who basically would not have appreciated choices people make, as a firm believer in God, there are loads of people I would not be speaking to because they are atheists. They don't believe in my God, and I believe in my God. So it's because I respect their choices. Look at how Sarah divorced from the Labour Party over an issue of abortion. That was her choice. Those are choices we have. Everybody, every individual, every country has his or her choice. Don't impose mine on, I will not impose mine on you, but don't impose yours on me. All I'm saying is, we need to live by the consequences of the choices that we make. That's all I'm saying. Okay? And I'm sure if all of us thought the same way, there would have never been need for institutions like the police, mediation, the courts, and all of that. It is because of the fact that there can be a vast difference in how we think that sometimes we have to go to an institution to level out our beliefs. Okay, I will end on this by saying, your choice is yours. Mine is mine. Don't impose yours on me. I am not imposing mine on you, because an imposition is something that can be enforced. Okay? So if I say vaccinate, you do, it's your choice. It's your choice. Respect my choice. I will respect yours. And don't twist what I see or what I said. Pavin di sa ma jeme dia pou di mwen di disek mwen di dat. Some of you lie too blatantly. Some of you, somebody, when they send me a clip of what I said, if I own a bank, and somebody asked me, did you say that? I said, of course I said it. If I own a bank and the bank is mine, you want my money? I will tell you the criteria you must meet to get my money. You want to come in my car? I say you're not dressing the way you dress. I just don't give you a ride in my car. Exercise your choice, I exercise mine. And we're good. Respect mine, I respect yours. All right. Radical investments. Oh, Lord. Folks, I've been on social media for the past few days. And the news circulating out of Barbados right now, or in Barbados, just shows how right I was when I broke the story and how much of a liar Alan SHASTA is when I broke the story about the $7.3 million to radical investments. You see, folks, I have been here and telling you, and I've repeated a number of ills, a number of bad decisions by the last administration, from the DSH deal to the hospital deal to the airport deal. I have just leveled with you on a lot of the bad decisions Alan SHASTA and his government took. $24 million to Sandals, 32 to Local B. You know, our money was just being given 130 something in compulsory acquisition of that hotel. Hotel. Okay, just remember. You know, money's 13 million to Pumandu, 11 million bypass road, 13 million. You know, all those stories I broke, they could not have said I was lying. In fact, in some instances with the DSH, they first said I read from a fake document. That's their favorite word, fake document. It came to pass that DSH was as real as could be. I came out with the Pajot letter. They said it was a fake document. Guy Joseph eventually admitted. And every time is a fake, is a fake, is a fake. I spoke about many things. And, you know, it's fake, 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 fake. They were so in love with the word fake that they took $7.3 million of taxpayers' money to purchase fake vaccines. Yeah, fake vaccines. Folks, when I got wind of the story, I asked for and I received the direct award that was signed by the then Prime Minister Alan SHASTA to contract Radical Investments to secure $7.3 million worth of vaccines. Could you show them this direct award that I had first shown here? Good. Government of St. Lucia, April 20th, about 3 months before the election. Approval of direct purchase for AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, Radical Investment Inc. Please be advised that the Minister of Finance has granted approval for procurement via direct purchase to Radical Investments. How much? $7,335,630 to facilitate the procurement of vaccines. You know, when I saw this and I put it out, I did my research and realized that Radical Investments was not a company that was involved in any way, shape, or form in drug procurement. They were not involved in that at all. Radical Investments, as the name suggests, were involved in financial management. That is what they did, financial management. They had never, ever, ever before sought, procured, supplied, or had anything to do with supplying drugs, far less that kind of drug that needed a special kind of preservation because it needed to have been stored at a given temperature to preserve it. You know, but that direct award was given. Mind you, when the demand was made on the Treasury to pay that amount, the staff at the Treasury, quite rightly, were inundated with skepticism. They were doubtful about the authenticity of that arrangement, and they did not want to pay. The staff at the Treasury were very skeptical about complying with the payment instructions of that amount. Because, hey, vaccines, how many vaccines, blah, blah, blah. Normally, those things are accompanied by a list. But the staff figured That letter was totally devoid of supporting documentation, and therefore they treated it as a hot potato. Now I'm saying that, it just dawned on me that Timothy Mangal got a contract for direct award as well to purchase materials for St. Jude. And that direct award was granted, paid, but there was no material list attached to that direct award. That's for another show. Investigations will continue. But you see, folks, at the Treasury, the staff quite rightly decided, look, we're not touching that. But pressure burst pipe, as we say colloquially. Pressure was brought to bear until the check was written. But hear this. Because the authorization of the direct award lacked any kind of documentation in substantiation of the award, they could not have printed the check on the computer. What are you putting in the computer to generate that payment? So because that payment could not have been processed through the normal channel due to the inadequacy of documentation, the check had to be handwritten. Yo ekwi eklameo for $7,300,000. Are you all listening, folks? We're getting into it now. So, after I showed the direct award on the show, the office of the then Prime Minister, SHASTA, decided to issue a press release. They issued a press release calling that document a fake, as they normally do. Are you all hearing me, folks? When I came out and I showed the direct award for the $7.3 million, when it became of concern to the last government, they issued a press release and called it a fake. Nicole McDonald, by the way, where are you? Nicole, how are you? You okay? Yes. They issued a press release saying that that direct award was a fake. Show them the press release to me, please. Good. St. Lucia efforts to secure high demand COVID-19 vaccine. Thursday, July 1st, 2021. By the Office of the Prime Minister. A document is in circulation with false allegations. False allegations regarding procurement of COVID-19 vaccines. Are you all listening, folks? The Office of the Prime Minister is aware of a document in circulation accompanied by a a little too fast now, accompanied by a WhatsApp message with patently false allegations. False allegations, they called it. The Office of the Prime Minister states categorically that the government of St. Lucia's purchase of vaccine was done in accordance with the procurement and stores regulations. That is a lie. That is a lie, and I'll show you where it is a lie. And with due diligence, God, due diligence, Johnny, and we are scammed. With due diligence by the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Health. Due diligence by the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Health. And it went on to say, although St. Lucia received donations of 25,000 doses from India and 50,400 through COVAX, this was not sufficient to ensure that at least 60% of our population was vaccinated. Could you scroll, please? It says in April 2021, the governments of St. Lucia, Hedis, the Bahamas and Barbados initiated a bulk purchase. Folks, that is not true. And it says that our share was $7,335,000. Folks, none of that is true. None of that is true. And I want you to take note that the document said it was done in collaboration with, it was a bulk purchase agreement. It was done in Barbados, the Bahamas, and St. Lucia, and that our share was $7.3 million. He also said it was done in accordance with the procurement regulations and that due diligence had been done. Folks, if there is anything fake, it is the contents of the press release. It is something because it contains blatant lies. Firstly, we never did any joint purchase with anyone, folks. Nothing is further from the truth. The people approached the government of Barbados. The government of Barbados said, yes, if you can land the vaccines here, we will commit our treasury to paying you $10 million worth of your vaccines, but you are getting $0 and 0 cents upfront. Are you hearing me? Barbados gave nothing upfront, not 1 cent. But as foolish as SHASTA was, he took $7.3 million and gave it to Radical Investments, okay, upfront, without even the due diligence. But there was due diligence. I'll tell you where it was. It's in Rohan Cement. I'll let you know. I'll tell you. I can't hold it back. I'll tell you. But folks, I want you to listen. Like I said, the government of Barbados said they would have committed $10 million, but bring the vaccines there first. Barbados has lost nothing. Take a listen to the acting Prime Minister of Barbados, Sansha Bradshaw.
It's true. I want to make it abundantly clear that no taxpayer resources have actually been expended and directly given to the company for the particular sourcing of these vaccines. This is, however, a most unfortunate situation and one which highlights the wild, wild west environment of which the Prime Minister has spoken about on many occasions that currently obtains on the COVID vaccine market. Radical Investments did not receive a single cent from us and are therefore not expecting a refund from the Barbados government. The clear understanding at all times was that once the items were sourced and they arrived in Barbados, that the appropriate payments would be made to the company.
You all heard that, folks? I think I want that played again. Can you play that? They did not lost 1 penny. The deal was when the vaccines got there, they would pay for it if the vaccines got there. Listen to that again.
It's true. I want to make it abundantly clear that no taxpayer resources have actually been expended and directly given to the company for the particular sourcing of these vaccines. This is, however, a most unfortunate situation and one which highlights the wild, wild west environment of which the Prime Minister has spoken about on many occasions that currently obtains on the COVID vaccine market. Radical Investments did not receive a single cent from us and are therefore not expecting a refund from the Barbados government. The clear understanding at all times was that once the items were sourced and they arrived in Barbados, that the appropriate payments would be made to the company.
You all heard this, folks? Barbados did not give Radical Investments 1 penny, not 1 cent. But SHASTA is saying we had a bulk purchase agreement and our share, according to the press release, our share was $7.3 million. So he paid all up front. So Radical Investments, represented by Maloney, was given our taxpayers' money for vaccines despite us in St. Lucia being able to get our vaccines dirt cheap from COVAX, or as a government purchasing our vaccines directly from the source, because COVAX sources vaccines for the regional countries. Folks, the development now is Maloney allegedly passed the money to another company, and ultimately the money gone. Now, Maloney is suing the company he gave the money to and those who introduced him to, and all of those things. Now, you know, folks, excuse me, SHASTA told the news media in Barbados yesterday that Radical Investments is a reputable company and that they had done their due diligence, and you saw it on the press release. They had done their due diligence. A company that never dealt in vaccines, a company that never procured vaccines, a company that never procured any kind of pharmaceutical drugs at all. But you did your due diligence. You did it. And now he takes our money, gives it to another company, who now has to approach another company for the same vaccines. But you know, folks, that Maloney is involved in the rock-hard cement. You all know who has rock-hard cement? Mr. Ex-Prime Minister. I don't know. Who has rock-hard cement? Not his brother-in-law, I don't know. With Maloney. Okay. You know, so Maloney is not a total stranger. Rock-hard cement. So there is a relationship. I don't know what relationship there is, but there is one. So now Maloney is suing. Lord. Now Maloney is suing the other companies, Good Vibrations. Good Vibrations. That's a company he say he gave some of our money. He's suing them for a refund in the U.S. courts. Folks, the question is this. Why would any prime minister, why would this prime minister, why would a minister of finance take $7.3 million of taxpayers' money by the stroke of a pen, give it to a first company which never dealt in that at all, to take it to bring to another company, and that other company will source it from another company? What kind of thing is that? Why would a prime minister do that? Why would a minister of finance do that? What did your due diligence entail? And why should you do that when we have COVAX on our doorstep? And as a government, we can go directly to the manufacturer. And the people in Barbados, the government of Barbados, show you how you should govern. Bring the vaccines. Man, bring them in, I go pay you. That's what Barbados did, but no, we have a slush fund. We have a slush fund. Permandu Vini, Loco B Vini, Tioa King Vini, Sandals Vini. That's what we have. But the government of Barbados said, come with your vaccines. I need them. I'll pay for them. We take $7.3 million. And you know, the hacks will support it. The hacks. The hacks. Now, folks, SHASTA went on to say that in the press release, he secured the vaccines through, by adhering basically to the provisions of the procurement regulations. Folks, that is a blatant lie. If they had ensured that the regulations were complied with, they would not have had a handwritten check. They would not have had a handwritten check. And I can tell you that payment was unlawful. Put up Section 92 for me of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act. Section 92, folks. It reads, advance payment. A procuring entity may make an advance payment when necessary to enable the effective implementation of a public procurement contract. But the aggregate, hear this well, but the aggregate of any advance payments made under the public procurement contract shall not exceed 10% of the value of the public procurement contract unless otherwise justified. That is what the law says. That if you are making an advance payment, you cannot go beyond 10% unless it is justified. Barbados paid 0%. But here we are paying 100% upfront when the law is telling us we should not pay more than 10%, and therefore, if the total is $7.3 million, we should pay no more than $730,000 upfront. I didn't say it, that's the law. That is the law. So there is illegality all around, and illegality surrounded that last government. Everything they did was illegal. All around. And I'm hoping that someone, somewhere, is held accountable for the taxpayers' $7.3 million. So, folks, Mark Maloney files the case. And a judge in the Florida courts told Mark Maloney, hello, if you want me to hear this case, and that came out today, if you want me to hear this case, you must prove that all the people you are suing here are basically citizens over whom we have jurisdiction, are citizens of the United States. So the court told Mark Maloney, you better go back and tell me which country those people have citizenship of. And if you cannot prove their citizenship, your case stands dismissed. Take a look at what the judge told Mark Maloney today. Florida judge orders St. Lucia Company in COVID-19 vaccine suit to present citizenship of defendants. Could you scroll down first, please? Yes, I'll just read about the first two paragraphs. Okay. A Florida judge has ordered a St. Lucian registered Barbados-based company to present proof detailing the citizenship of each individual they are suing or face a dismissal of its lawsuit. You all are hearing that, folks? Face a dismissal of its lawsuit, News America has found. And you see the date that came out? Thursday, September 23rd, 2021, the first sentence. First sentence. Folks, if Mark Maloney cannot establish the citizenship of all those people he is suing, it means his case is dismissed, because I don't have American citizenship. You cannot sue me in an American court. So, what happens there now? What happens there? You know, you can take this down. Folks, this is where we are. And I just want persons to address their minds as to what would have possibly happened had those guys won the election. Just imagine what would have happened had those guys won the elections. This is what has become of our $7.3 million. It has gone up in smoke when people can barely survive in this country. If not the airport, if not Loco B, if not Sanders, if not Pomandu, if not T.O.A. King, all our money is given away, and what is not given away is scammed. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Our money involved in a big scam, and we are sure to lose $7.3 million, compliments Alan SHASTA and company. I mean, I know there's scums all over the internet. I know the Africans engage heavily in it. There's scums all over. But for a scum to reach a government level is a travesty. And somebody, somewhere, must be held accountable. Folks, I want to end this little piece by playing you a story that was put together very well by Rihanna Izino. Take a listen to this.
Businessman Mark Maloney, an official representing Radical Investments Limited, is seeking damages from 7 different companies in the United States for supposedly losing millions in taxpayer dollars from a COVID vaccine procurement deal gone awry. Now in April, during the initial stages of the global race for COVID vaccines, ex-Prime Minister Alan Shasney gave Radical Investments a direct award valued at $7.3 million to buy AstraZeneca vaccines on St. Lucia's behalf. But St. Lucia already had an arrangement with COVAX, who had already committed tens of thousands of vaccine doses to the island at minimal cost. Mark Maloney and Radical Investments were also engaged by the Barbados government. Barbados's Mia Mottley administration also allocated more than $10 million to Radical Investments for AstraZeneca vaccines. NBC Prime obtained court documents filed on September 17th in Florida's Southern District that indicate Maloney was introduced to officials representing a company called Good Vibrations by a Trinidad businesswoman in Florida. According to the lawsuit, Good Vibrations claimed to have the capabilities to source the vaccines for Maloney's company. Radical Investments entered an agreement with Good Vibrations and agreed to pay the company $12 million. After paying Good Vibrations more than $6.6 million without receiving a single COVID vaccine dose, Maloney grew suspicious. His subsequent inquiries into Good Vibrations and its associates revealed a more sinister plot was at play. Mark Maloney and Radical Investments are now suing in a Florida court to recoup the millions lost in what appears to be an elaborately fraudulent COVID vaccine scheme. So were St. Lucian taxpayers caught up in the scandal? On August 31st, newly minted Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre revealed the government was still unsuccessful in retrieving its $7.3 million issued to Radical Investments.
But talking about vaccines this week, talking about vaccines, do you know that the last government paid by handwritten check $7 million for the importation of vaccines into St. Lucia? And do you know, Mr. Speaker, on the 13th of July, because they were so uncertain of what they had done, they were not firm in the conviction that what they did was right. They cancelled the order on the 14th of July. They cancelled the order for the vaccines that they had imported. And do you know, up to today, we cannot get our money back?
The Barbados Today news outlet on September 22nd published an interview with Mr. Shasney addressing the emerging vaccine scandal. The former Prime Minister told Barbados Today, quote, due diligence was done, end quote, adding that the St. Lucia government's deal with Radical Investments was similar to that of African groups. Mr. Shasney also told Barbados Today Radical Investments was reputable, which was a key factor in his decision to proceed with that arrangement.
You know why we can't get our money back? Not because the person who they give the money doesn't want to give it to us, because of the arrangements that they made. They were not firm in the arrangements that they made. So right now, because you know, in the haste to do things, in the haste to try to mama guy and bluff, they did this kind of things this week. And right now, even if the person wants to give us back our money, because of the strictures, up to now, we need the $7 million to help in the increase in testing. We need the $7 million to improve the respiratory hospital.
Barbados Today specifically asked Mr. Shasney if Radical Investments was in fact a St. Lucian company. He replied, quote, I'm not sure, I just know Mr. Maloney, end quote. Now, NBC Prime did inquire at the Register of Companies. We were told that there were no companies registered under the name Radical Investments in St. Lucia. Rihani Isidore, NBC Prime.
Folks, I'm not sure if this lawsuit is genuine. It may just be a sham to this guy's blatant stealing. We are going for a first break, but I'm going for a permanent break from the show for tonight. God willing, based on how events unfold, I will make another appearance, if not Thursday coming, definitely the Thursday 2 weeks from now. Have a good night. We're going for the first break.
Aging gracefully is the hope for everyone. But when you age prematurely, most people think that something is wrong with you. The natural enzymes and building blocks in your skin start to deplete. So fine or deep lines and wrinkles appear, making you look much older than you really are. At Derma Clinic, we can help repair your skin and change the way you look in minutes. These treatments will make you look younger. At Derma Clinic, we treat all kinds of skin problems, such as facial lines, dark circles around the eyes, crow's feet, and frown lines, using all-natural hyaluronic acid filler. So maintain and improve your facial appearance. For more information, call 453-6417 or 485-9818.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes, and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Nestled in the quiet northern neighborhood of Larry Twet is a housing development designed specifically for homeowners looking for that ideal location, the epitome of serenity, a retreat from the hustle and bustle of everyday living. Our homes cater to the specific needs of you, the modern homeowner: style, comfort, space, and above all, privacy. Want to experience scenic, breathtaking mountain views, postcard garden sunsets, balconies overlooking well-manicured gardens, and large yard and parking space? Visit us today.
My name is Martina. I would like to say thank you to the guys from Paddy Access, especially Jermaine, for a job well done. I called him 2 days before my brother's funeral to do a live video, and I was not disappointed. He was professional and kept in touch with me throughout the live, just making sure I was satisfied with everything. I would definitely use Paddy Access again, and I highly recommend that anyone looking to do a live video to hire them. Everyone who watched my brother's funeral had good things to say about how much of a good job the videographer did. If you want satisfaction for your money, Paddy Access is the way to go.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boost your stamina, and increases your endurance.
Enhance can be purchased at Citygate Bar, the CDC opposite the market, Dexter's Car Wash on Chaussee Road, Plants Place on the Dennery Highway, Arlette Supermarket in Soufriere, the Release Stress Bar on the Labrie Highway, and Cool Joint Bar in Victoria, Choiseul.
You can get your Enhance at Prio's Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Gurzile Bus Stop. Prio's Bar and Grill in Corinth, Gurzile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Aging gracefully is the hope for everyone. But when you age prematurely, most people think that something is wrong with you. The natural enzymes and building blocks in your skin start to deplete. So fine or deep lines and wrinkles appear, making you look much older than you really are. At Derma Clinic, we can help repair your skin and change the way you look in minutes. These treatments will make you look younger. At Derma Clinic, we treat all kinds of skin problems, such as facial lines, dark circles around the eyes, crow's feet, and frown lines, using all-natural hyaluronic acid filler. So maintain and improve your facial appearance. For more information, call 453-6417 or 485-9818.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes, and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Nestled in the quiet northern neighborhood of Larry Twet is a housing development designed specifically for homeowners looking for that ideal location, the epitome of serenity, a retreat from the hustle and bustle of everyday living. Our homes cater to the specific needs of you, the modern homeowner: style, comfort, space, and above all, privacy. Want to experience scenic, breathtaking mountain views, postcard garden sunsets, balconies overlooking well-manicured gardens, and large yard and parking space? Visit us today.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
Enhance can be purchased at Citygate Bar, the CDC opposite the market, Dexter's Car Wash on Chaussee Road, Plants Place on the Dennery Highway, Arlette Supermarket in Soufriere, the Release Stress Bar on the Labrie Highway, and Cool Joint Bar in Victoria, Choiseul.
You can get your Enhance at Prio's Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Gurzile Bus Stop. Prio's Bar and Grill in Corinth, Gurzile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
My name is Martina. I would like to say thank you to the guys from Paddy Access, especially Jermaine, for a job well done. I called him 2 days before my brother's funeral to do a live video, and I was not disappointed. He was professional and kept in touch with me throughout the live, just making sure I was satisfied with everything. I would definitely use Paddy Access again, and I highly recommend that anyone looking to do a live video to hire them. Everyone who watched my brother's funeral had good things to say about how much of a good job the videographer did. If you want satisfaction for your money, Paddy Access is the way to go.
Aging gracefully is the hope for everyone. But when you age prematurely, most people think that something is wrong with you. The natural enzymes and building blocks in your skin start to deplete. So fine or deep lines and wrinkles appear, making you look much older than you really are. At Derma Clinic, we can help repair your skin and change the way you look in minutes. These treatments will make you look younger. At Derma Clinic, we treat all kinds of skin problems, such as facial lines, dark circles around the eyes, crow's feet, and frown lines, using all-natural hyaluronic acid filler. So maintain and improve your facial appearance. For more information, call 453-6417 or 485-9818.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
St. Lucia, good night. 59 days in office, and already the evidence of corruption is insurmountable. And to the caller who last week asked specifically to look at this $7 million vaccine procurement issue, definitely tonight, you had it. What was done, where we at, and what we intend to do, that is as a government. It is sad that these guys really and truly treated the nation's purse as if it was their own. And I feel vindicated when I continuously refer to them as Treasury rapists. Under no circumstances would these guys exercise such scant disregard for their own money. And St. Lucia, as it cannot be overemphasized, things cannot continue to be, it cannot be business as usual. One, if not all, must be held to account, must be brought before the court. And basically when I listen to this, it is another scenario where the former government of Alan Shastney and the United Workers' Party did as much as they can to institutionalize corruption and money laundering. Because notwithstanding all what was revealed early on, but I was able to listen to part of Mary Isaac on Timothy. And in essence, Mary Isaac said that her ministry knew nothing about that. Her ministry was sent a document from the Ministry of Finance, the Prime Minister's office. So what we've been saying throughout the years, and that is 17 puppets and one man pulling the strings. Alan Shastney and Guy Joseph did in fact pull the strings of this government for 5 years. And they must be held to account. You know, I mean, where do we take it from here? Where do we take it from here? And then to listen to hacks, to listen to flubbo surrogates. I don't even know if I could call them that. I would like to call them yellow belly something. But to listen to these guys speak as to the manner in which the current government is handling the situation, People, it's obvious. If you got more testing, if you introduce a regime of more vigorous testing, then your numbers will be up. You will know more because in essence, there is more testing. You're more aggressive with your testing. And so therefore, one must concede that the government, this current government, amidst the atmosphere, have in fact stirred the wheels of this country in the right direction. In 59 days, this government has given 1/3 to the public in terms of social safety nets and social safety initiatives, welfare initiatives. 1/3 of what Alan SHASTA gave for the entire period of COVID. Notwithstanding, he borrowed more than $700 million in the name of COVID. Again, there is so much more like this radical investment thing to be discovered. It will alarm you. It will have you in awe. Like I said before, almost every ministry have a story of corruption, courtesy the government of the United Workers' Party and Alan SHASTA. Fixing this country is in fact a mammoth task. And this government asks for patience. We're not asking you to make excuses, because there will not be infractions that warrant excuses. This government is asking you to be patient. Let the house be put in order. Revelations like these are countless and will be made when time permits itself. St. Lucia, on the 26th of July, you embarked on a mission to save this country, to pull it back off the precipice. And we going forward. The only movement is up. So to the United Workers' Party hacks who seem to find a reason for destabilization of the government less than 2 months after they were put in office, I say to you that for more than 24 months, the public, St. Lucians, the persons who voted on the 26th, they wish only one thing, and that was the leader of the opposition endorse and approve the commitment to take to the streets and destabilize. And if there is one thing the United Workers' Party must thank the Honorable Philip J. Pierre for, is the fact that he remained calm and selective and never gave in. People, saving this country, we must. For our children, $7 million. Have you any idea what $7 million would have done now in this current climate? $7 million would have gotten the laptops here for our children. Yeah, $7 million. But yet we lost $7 million and nothing to show. How could that constitute prudent management of our nation's treasury? This is an indictment, like so many before, on the performance of Alan SHASTA and his cabinet. This is in fact stating clearly, or presenting to you clearly, the ineptitude of those 17 men and women who for 5 years raped the Treasury, for 5 years denied our children a education that would ensure them upward mobility, for 5 years did away with the social safety nets, including the financial or the stipends rather that was given to the sick, the elderly, the disabled. This government, all in an effort of enriching themselves and their friends. FFF. And like it is said, almost every situation where the country's money is given, there is a personal relationship. The benefactor has a personal relationship, either with Alan SHASTA, with Guy Joseph, or with some member of the United Workers' Party. St. Lucia, we need to stand by this government. We need to stand by this government because, like I've said, the calls of victimization will come in. But we, the persons, the people, the voters who made it possible on the 26th, must stand with this government and demand that they set the trend, that they put in place a process, they set in motion a
mechanism
that would ensure that corruption in government, is a thing of the past, not as blatant as we've had it in the past 5 years. Ms. Charmaine?
Yeah, I concur with what you're saying, especially for me it's the reality is sad because of the blatant disregard for us as St. Lucians who entrust the affairs of the country, like our healthcare system, our educational system and things of that nature, in the hands of people that we expect to make sound decisions which will affect our lives positively. And when you sit back and you see the revelation of a case of something that was already brought before us previous to elections, and everybody just saw it as a red flag and still playing the color game, and then yesterday when the Barbados news came on and brought more of the actual activities to do with that particular deal to light, and just the complacency of what is supposedly our previous leader to just say that I know an individual, you know, it's just like I know you, Tim, and
would you give me $7 million?
Exactly. And not just that, you hear a name like Radical Investments, you know, Good Vibrations, and I'm thinking some kind of Denry segment kind of vibe or that kind of thing. So you're thinking entertainment, you're not thinking anything health wise, and then you know you blatantly say to what you purportedly say is a regional group. A regional group, to me, a group would be much more sound than just free countries. Could have just spoken to two leaders and gotten this procurement.
No, but the reality is, why would there be need for a regional group when you have COVAX,
exactly,
which is internationally COVAX was set up specifically for that purpose.
Yeah.
You know, and I could remember Christopher somewhere along saying that St. Lucia, according to the COVAX files, St. Lucia may have been the only country that have not applied for their quota of vaccines. Could it be that Alan deliberately not engaged COVAX
because he had this
because he knew exactly
deal,
what was up his sleeve?
You know, and then you have, like you rightly said a while ago, you have $7.3 million. That's not $700. That's not $7,000. And then we had a situation where when COVID came in unexpectedly in 2021 of March thereabout, when it really started to kick in and kids couldn't go to school and so much of the social issues started to actually become a reality, you think of where that money could have gone. And to date, we are left with nothing, not a penny. And all you're saying is you exercise due diligence. In what light? You don't even know if the person is the owner of the company, as according to the news clip, or if the person is operating the company. So what gave you that sort of confidence to take $7.3 million and just give it to somebody in the name of getting vaccines for us? Vaccines that we could have possibly sourced freely or maybe half price or something. And you just think that's blatant madness. And like you rightly said, that's probably just not one ministry. What is left to unfold is a lot of stuff, I would well imagine, because it seems like people are just blatantly doing whatever they think of.
But could it even be that in defeat we will still set up as a people? Because in the judge now asking that for the case to even be legitimate or for the case to be even heard in an American court, it must be individuals whom America have jurisdiction over. So therefore, they must have they must be an American citizen, basically. So could it be a situation where the money disappears into thin air, the avenue for legal action is not exhausted, it actually don't exist. And then there's nobody looking for the money is gone, we have to accept that, okay, the money is gone. So could it be a situation where even in defeat, that Alan set us up?
Exactly, it looks like. And,
you know, and for Mr. Maloney, a businessman, to make that transfer of that much cash without being confident and certain, that leaves me wondering. I'm not into this thing. I mean, you got to give me in that incident, you got to give me a reason to trust you. It's not like I trust you all of a sudden. You got to give me, and Mr. Maloney, even in filing the case, I don't have a reason to trust.
I still don't have a reason.
I am of the view right now that the government and people of St. Lucia was set up, Alan, in joint enterprise with the principal investors.
I believe that. Because even today, though the Ministry of Finance in Barbados has indicated that they have heard previously of radical investments, the health minister is saying that he doesn't know anything about it.
Exactly, because that's exactly what I was telling you. If I watch, well, the Ministry of Finance would have had, because I don't want to assume that. Unlike,
it was in the article.
It points to the same thing here, where Mary said that the Ministry of Health got a document instructing them that the procurement was made. And the Ministry of Health,
all the technical staff,
exactly. So how could you ever exercise due diligence when you're buying a pair of shoes for me without asking me my size?
Asking me what my size is or what was my preference.
And so therefore, I am forced again to believe that these guys institutionalized money laundering. These guys use the ministries and the different departments of government to siphon money. Take for instance the Pajero letter, the Pajero letter. How could you give a guy a letter authorizing and committing government to paying back? And then even the very statement where guys said, what reputable financial institution would give a man money based on a piece of paper? So then, okay, so if guy know that, yet appending his signature to that, I am forced to believe now that the sources was intended to be corrupt sources. I mean, any dope dealer, you know, any fraudulent businessman, that's the deal. What the percentage? 10, 25?
25, yes.
So you now face a loan shark. You now bind the government of St. Lucia to a loan shark. You washes his money for him. He really don't care, because at the end of the day, you would be paying him through the legal system. And the interest, you keep that, because in some cases, they really don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they get the principle of what they negotiated for. You know, I mean, come on, people, our reputation, our integrity must be the business of every St. Lucian.
I believe that.
It cannot be the business of a selected few. And to this end, we must stand up, we must criticize, we must hold those entrusted accountable. To whom much is given, much is expected.
And throughout the period, ever since this has evolved as, you know, center of the news, people actually saying to me when I walk in the streets, you know, I hope this government is not about just allowing this to blow over. And then you have those people who would say to you, this happens in St. Lucia all the time. Nothing's going to happen to anyone. And I say to them, think of the future, and think of once business, it just cannot be business as usual. Some people need to be held accountable. It might be the very first time, but it has to start somewhere. And so it would send a strong message to whoever wants to become future representatives that the public purse does not belong to him or her to do as they please, or as if it's just toys. And so they have to account for every penny. And like you say, and not just come and rape our treasury. Because you have the hacks bashing the Prime Minister and the Minister of Health with this fourth wave of what is the COVID-related, the COVID-19 virus, and as it relates to St. Lucia. And for whatever reason, we just caught between this wave of hate and this wave of wanting to see St. Lucia at its knees. But at the end of the day, we're a people. And I sometimes remember this song, St. Lucians Unite, walk to the heights, join hand in hand to build a strong nation. And I listened to this interview with the Minister of Health, along with the Press Secretary, Monday Lewis, what is beyond the headlines. And he was sharing with Monday his 6 weeks in actual government as the Minister of Health, having to have those briefings, get associated with the doctors, get to know what's happening on the ground with COVID, after having to restructure the mind frame or the mechanisms of what was once the COVID command center to now what is the COVID management center. And I share a lot of sentiments, and I admire him because he said it is indeed a mountain of issues where health is concerned. Okay, we have instances where we have nurses and doctors that are drained because this has been going on for some time. When we think we're out of the water, we sometimes right back in.
But when you say nurses that are drained, Charmaine, you must remember as well that the nursing sector was one of the first sectors destabilized, literally destabilized by Alan Shasney, with the help of the then president, of the Nurses Association.
Yes, I remember.
I'm telling you, because of Alan Shasney's policy, we had nurses leaving the country in droves.
In droves and going over.
And for now to sit by and hear that they will be understaffed, we don't have enough nurses. I mean, who takes responsibility for that? Is it Philippe J. Pierre who placed nursing on its head, the whole sector of nursing on its head? Is it Philippe J. Pierre who runs so many qualified, sought after nurses out of our service? And so therefore, when they sit by and they say, Alan handled this thing better. What is better? What is better? If Alan got 30 people tested in a week, this government got 80 and 100 persons tested in a week. So therefore, the figures will come in faster and bigger because there's more testing. What about that? The average person with 2 ounces of a brain cannot understand. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. The 43%.
The 43%ers. You know, and that is why I was sharing that he was sharing so many deficiencies. And of course, within the last administration, we kept on hearing, we're working, let's keep working. And COVID came, it was sort of like something new to all of us. Everything changed all at once. So sometimes we may not have paid attention to everything that occurred, but there was almost an immediate transfer from everyone at VH to the OKEU hospital because it was imminent that it actually had to function because COVID was here and Victoria would not accommodate what was really going on. It has become a respiratory hospital. But is it equipped to be a respiratory hospital? No, because there's so many deficiencies. What I've seen happen in the last couple of weeks, which is just merely a short period of time, I've seen the French government assist with this huge respiratory tank. There's been the distribution of gestures by local business houses to deliver linen to the Victoria Hospital. I have had talks with people who have come to me based on my interaction with the community and certain things, telling me that they're domestic workers at the respiratory clinic and they are not being given their allowances. And the minister alluded to all of those things. And like he was saying, when you come into office and you're faced with those problems, before you actually provide solutions, you need to discuss these things at a cabinet level. And so 6 weeks is not so much time for you to get miracle results, but I think that they have been working in such a way that they've been identifying the roots of the problem. Not having x-ray machines in a respiratory clinic doesn't make any sense. How are you going to find out what's going on with the patient? You understand? And so people need to, like you were saying, it's a monumentous task for this government. You know, people tend to cast aside what they think should be cast aside, but a lot of those problems is what has placed us where we're at. I think the government has a proactive approach. They're getting to know, and it's the idea of pulling all resources together is the best way forward. Like he was saying, you can't have one, like the Minister of Health alluded to, you can't have one doctor who is responsible for seeing patients who are COVID-19 positive and they're at home. And you have one doctor alone, Dr. Felicia, monitoring everyone that's at home. That is impossible. You understand? And so here we get to see where manpower is limited, certain things are limited. And so the way forward is for all of us to join forces and not for us to be at each other's throats and calling this one name. And like some people say, why politicize COVID?
There you realize how much $7 million
would have increased our capacity.
Let me just say that the lines are open. But Charmaine, would you imagine that? I was wondering whether or not I was the only person who heard it. I actually heard Michael, the former Prime Minister's father, on Sky FM or what it is, state that in excess of $160 was spent on Victoria to bring it to prepare it for a respiratory hospital. And I want to say to this government, it takes nothing off of you, because the situation is not one of your making. But I've seen enough cell phone footage of what this place looked like. And I think it is time to allow the nation, to see what this thing looked like. Because to have spent $160 million to bring Victoria, to upgrade Victoria rather, to a respiratory institution, hospital. Honestly, you should be jailed just for uttering that statement. Yeah, caller, good night, let me hear you. Hello, good night, caller.
Yes, sir, good night, Charmaine, good night, Timo.
Good night.
Yeah, my brother.
Yes, it's a very sad and, it's a very sad situation. It's very sad that every nook and cranny of the former administration was filled with corruption. And hello?
Yes, we're here.
And we, the people of St. Lucia, would like the present government to hold each and every person accountable during their first term in office. We cannot allow a second term to go by without these people being held accountable. My issue is, one of my biggest issue and concerns is that Alan SHASTA found it fit to pay $7.3 million to a scam company to procure 100,000 doses of vaccine. So technically, it's like one dose of the vaccine costs us $73. And I was just reading online, through COVAX, that vaccine actually cost $5.20 US. So how did Alan SHASTA found it fit, or saw it fit to pay $73 for one dose of the vaccine? That doesn't make sense to me. That's not right, and everything about that deal is not right. And we want our money back.
Yes,
definitely.
I quite agree.
Definitely, and not just that, caller. You said that you would like to see action within the first tenure of this government. I wholeheartedly have confidence and support this government and their capacity to turn things around. But I wish to state, and I really want to say to them, that the very longevity of this government depends on taking the corrupt before the court. I am interested in policies put in place to deal with corruption, but more so, the loudest message you could send to the corrupt is to bring them before the court. Nothing less will suffice.
Yes, we are within that. We patiently within that. And also, the public servants, I don't care who say which and what they say, but those public servants who knowingly and willingly and dishonestly
aided and abetted
aided and abetted
Alan Shasney and his cabal in
should be held responsible as well.
Treasury and stealing the future of our children.
Yes,
that's exactly what it is.
And taking away the many things that benefited the average generation from them. I want those people to answer questions as well.
Yes.
I want them to answer questions as well, because, boy, let me tell you, in the last 5 years, it has been so very hard. A lot of people have suffered. A lot of people have died. A lot of people have struggled for the last 5 years.
Lost their capacity.
And we know it's only 2 months since SLP1, but we know things will get better sometime. But yo, let me tell you, people have died, people have suffered, people have struggled under that last administration, and none of those hacks saw it fit to come out and speak
anything.
Out. People like Soraya Alexander, Kenisha Favier, Minerva Ward, Marina Central, these people finally found a voice now to come out and actually say that people are suffering, but they didn't saw it fit the last 5 years to come out and ask Alan Shasney to provide income support from the $700 million that he borrowed in the name of COVID.
Yes.
People suffered while that man built roads and, do all sorts of nonsense for our money. We want Alan Shasney we want our money back. Even if the courts have to seize assets to give us our money back.
By any means.
All of our money back.
Yes,
by any means.
Thank you.
Yes, my brother, thank you. And Shaman, that is a prevailing sentiment
everywhere around the country, throughout the country. You hear people saying,
and it in essence is a message. What message we send to the next generation of leaders?
Yes.
Is in essence what this thing will determine.
Yes.
It will
determine the future of future elections as well.
Good night, caller. We have a call, Shaman. Good night, caller.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night, Shaman, and good night, Mr.
Good night.
I forget your name.
James Timothy.
Yes, Mr. Timothy. Good show as usual. But the point I want to bring out and the question I'm asking is, with the civil servants, if the Treasury had become as though it was a lotto place, play lotto, Treasury lotto. It was like playing Treasury lotto. Although the lotto you have to play, and if you win, you win. But that one, even though
they always win.
Yes.
It was a Flowers ATM.
So if you play and become a millionaire overnight, for some of the people. Now the other thing I'm saying, if you can guide me on this one. In all departments of civil servants, of the civil service, they're supposed to have laws and regulations to regulate, their daily function.
Yeah.
And if there are laws to govern them for the daily function, even government comes, government goes. If a government comes, then you'll have the law, staple law for your department. And like the Treasury, if somebody bring a document or something to give monies, and you say it's not, something that is legal,
legitimate, yeah.
Why go against the law of your department to please, the Prime Minister, to please somebody? That is why I am saying civil servants supposed to get themselves together as one unit.
But caller, it is structured in a way that the politician does not have his way within the operations of the ministry. And so therefore, hence the reason why when people hear you call for senior civil servants to be held accountable, they take it. But this is the reason, this is exactly why it was set up that way. A politician cannot sign a work order. A politician cannot give directives for the commencement of a job.
Because what's that? When the 5 years come for the politicians, what and they dissolve the house of who is ruling the country?
The civil service continues.
Civil servants that is ruling the country. Yeah. While they are waiting to be re-elected or to be put out, is the civil servant. They are the ones that rule in the country.
But
so why let a 5-term politician or 5-term government come and destroy the country?
But caller,
if you have a document, as Mr. Richard showed, and it's not authentic. I don't know if I'm using the and it's not a legal document to give out such a vast amount of money. Those people taking the $1 million as though it is $1.
Yes.
Oh, but my example for that.
There was the plane. I have under Mr. Compton and under Mr. Kenny Anthony and even Mr. King and the other parties and Pilgrim and those people. I never heard those people mention millions like that for every simple thing. Everything is a million. Things that can cost $100,000 now is $1 million for them. That's $1 million. They're saying $2 million. That costs into $3 million. And when you look at it, it's $100 and something thousand it's costing. As though the millions had come like 1, 2, 3, 4.
But caller, we have a situation in St. Lucia.
And I want those civil servants to come together. And if all of them was coming together as one unit, and if the Treasury say no, because it's not right, or that department say, well, that is the queen chain, we cannot break it. Exactly. Mr. Prime Minister or Mr. Minister or whatever, we cannot break the constitutional right to your thing. We cannot do it. And it is standard that we cannot do it. We cannot break it because you tell us to break it. And if you're talking about firing that person and changing that person, like
then
just
the
like
public
custom,
service steps in.
On custom and thing. What's when they change how many
customs controllers, of customs.
Custom controllers for what? For one thing that because they wanted to do one
simply
thing.
To get a document signed in a vehicle.
Because they wanted to do one thing and they changed that one, and send that one there, and because that one go there, he or she cannot function. That is wrong. It have to have a standard, and I want the CSA, whatever the union people there that representing those civil servants, to stand firm with those people when those things happen. When government want to break laws, that come in and they want to break laws. And the people that is working want to have to stand firm, like the permanent secretaries and thing, when they see that is wrong.
This is
and
why
civil servants stop playing yellow and red.
Caller, this is why this government must set the precedent. This government must be the government that takes corrupt, I wouldn't want to call them colleagues because I cannot fathom a guy Joseph being in the same voice, which I'm telling you, as Philip J. Pierre or even Musa or Alpha Baptist. So I wouldn't even call them colleagues. This government must set a precedent. This government must be the government that hurl corrupt politicians and senior civil servants before the court. Thank you, caller. Let's see if we can get some more calls before we hang up.
And I want those things to change. And I want the constitutional law to change and to be more firm so that, we cannot depend on those some men that is untrustworthy to come and just take our money, embezzle and get rich overnight. We cannot do that. And look, people are suffering. Whereas you can pass the little money and give somebody a little work, the nice program, the step program can come back in that COVID thing there and for the people to get a little work. But if no money, how can they get it? Thank you.
Yes, my dear. Have a blessed evening. Charmaine, in St. Lucia, there's a culture where all employees wants to be the boss' best friend. Yeah. But I really and truly would not expect that mindset among persons who better qualify than their bosses in most cases.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have a PhD or a master's, you have a doctorate, exactly. I don't expect you. You're employable throughout the region.
Anywhere you fit.
Throughout the world, for that matter. And so therefore, when you compromise your professional ethics simply to appease or to hold on, that to me is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
It is unbecoming of our professionals.
Makes you inadequate as well. Because you're going to settle for less.
it cannot, it is not in the best interest of upward mobility. And although one may have noticed too that in one of the documents demanding payment or requesting payment that Richard put up, there was a clause at the bottom in that failure to adhere would. Could it be a situation, well, that in essence is a tacit threat?
Yeah, it is.
So then we even had the cabinet threatening tacitly threatening senior civil servants and civil servants across the board so as to get their way.
To get their way with certain things.
I mean, what could be worse than that?
Even to the point of this being a handwritten check and not an electronically automated check as it is supposed to be, shows you that some rules were broken somewhere.
Shams, everything was compromised. It is the habit of this government to compromise.
To compromise, I think so.
Shams, we have a call. Good night, caller.
Hello?
Hello, good night, caller.
Yes, good night.
Yeah, caller, I think we lost that caller. And please, when you're calling people, the systems, please.
Turn down the volume of your...
Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah. And yeah, like you were rightly saying, Tim, there's so much that has happened during the period of this last administration and what obtains now. I just think that we need to stay more focused. We need to do a lot more of awareness. I think that this program Beyond the Headlines is also doing a fantastic job of allowing people to understand what steps the government have taken thus far in certain areas, so people are aware of what is happening and not just listening to the naysayers and what they're preaching out there, because their whole intention is to destabilize this country. But I know that on July 26th, we made a concerted effort to get St. Lucia back to some sort of stability, some sort of integrity. And I think that the mechanisms that are being put in place, especially again looking at this week, I noticed the Castries South Constituency Council.
Shams, hold to your pointer. We have a call. Good night, caller. Good night, caller.
Good night.
Good night.
Yes, good night, sir.
Yeah, good night, team and Shaman.
Yes, my brother. Kindly turn down your system. We are getting the feedback.
How you doing?
Very well.
Okay, listen. From the time that these guys came in office, if you realize they have always had issues. Y'all, I mean, when I say y'all, they ask for us to trust them and to vote them into office. They'll make or create a better life for us. From the time these guys came into office, they started seeing about themselves. They started opening their own companies. And I don't know, solutions since forget that already. From the beginning that these guys, Guy Joseph and so many of them, these guys started going into their own businesses. And these guys started using the state funds from day one. And the thing is, what is bad? The supporters. Not because you're supporting a party team, that everything they do, that they are correct. You could still support your party and tell them they're wrong.
As a matter of fact,
it's like having your child, having a son, and you tell me your son is a rapist or whatever, and you're going to tell or encourage that boy, or say you love him so much that you will allow him to do whatever he's doing. So this is what has happened to us in St. Lucia. We have been supporting a particular party, whether red or yellow, and there's nothing red could do that is wrong because I'm supporting red. There's nothing yellow could do wrong, and all the time the guys are eating us up, and we allow these guys to reign all those years, you know. And imagine when these guys came in office, we had about what, $300 and something million, whatever, in debt. The Prime Minister's father, which is Shasna's father, came on the media talking so much about the amount of debt Kenny was taking, Kenny was putting us in. And look at the amount of debt that these guys incurred us within months. You know, and all that time he had a program, how do they call it, the open mic. It wasn't long after that mic was closed.
The mic was closed.
And then this fellas opened a network where you're telling me on
it was
on
pocket
Skype
mic, not
FM,
open mic.
talking rubbish night after night, day after day, you know, and St. Lucians are actually sitting there and saying nothing. We have people like Josie that is a political
Jolek.
because he have nothing to show to his name. You know, and all these men, we took that on. And up to now, Tim, we are going through this crisis there. We still have St. Lucians trying to make excuses for the wrong that these guys did.
Yes.
So when will that nonsense stop? Today, imagine yesterday when I heard a guy on Sky FM saying that SHASTA came as movies to rescue us, and we didn't accept it. So now St. Lucia, with that COVID thing, it's a plague we have on us. Even the Bible, these fellas want to take, look at the rubbish SHASTA did on television, going to media houses with preachers, putting a cast of a name like he's a priest in various. So, man, come on, people. True. And then, you know, so I want to know what amount of, what level are we in? Are we so stupid? Are we so dumb? Are we so daft in this country to make the rest of the world laugh at us with all those rubbish? Tim, thank you. Let me give somebody else a chance.
Thank you, my brother. Shams. You hear what he's saying in terms of the, you know, I always have the view that internal criticism must be facilitated. It makes you a stronger, better person. I've even said to diehard supporters of the Labour Party, do not under no circumstances tell your rep what is it he wants to hear.
Yeah.
We have a call. Good night, caller. Good night, caller. You on?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, yeah.
I wanted to just touch a little bit on the, well, thanks for the show. It's really, really good. I like when you're engaged to that extent. However, some of the issues that we have, especially in the public service, is a product of both the wrongs by both parties.
Both
because my question is, how are we going to heal the public service when you have operatives within the public service who work against the current government? You have those, of course, when the current government is out, the other one is in, the same thing happens. And I think that is why certain things like the check signing, the hand checks and all these things can happen, because you have a breakdown. The public service is broken. So what do you do with that type of public service that is so unhinged? How do you fix that? Because I think that's a tall order for the minister. I think it's Poyot. She's the Minister of Public Service. Yeah. How do you fix that level of, I mean, it's in a bad state because people do not agree with that one, because that party, we have really destroyed
our capacity
the opportunity to come together and to make profitable decisions and good decisions for our children and for the people of St. Lucia. So I just want to ask a little question. How do we fix the public service? Because honestly, I don't want to sound like totally, you know, like a pessimist, but it's almost like I feel we're doomed. Because you have so many people that believe SHASTA was doing the right thing because they got a little bit of the bread. You have these people who, of course, were taking crumbs from the master's table. Then now you have people who believe in the change, who wanted the change, and who want to legitimately see the change. But then you also have those people who pull them down. And a lot of some of the people who are pulling each other down are in positions. And then, of course, we do not want to victimize. We use that word very loosely, you know, you don't want to victimize people. But what do you do when you know that particular person, and a lot of them have been so vocal. This is the worst place I have ever seen people work and can openly say things about their boss or say things about their supervisors and take letters and share it, and there's no confidentiality, there's no way of learning, there's no professionalism. It's really disgusting. And then we turn around and we want the National Youth Council to behave any differently. You understand? When we behave so badly how can we expect any good example from the youth? That is why the youth council is so unhinged as well. So can somebody tell me, how do we heal that public service so that we can start to put controls in place?
Okay.
And also systems that can cause a certain level of appraisal,
yes,
so that we can reprimand those people when they arise.
Yes, institutionalized redress must be something that is considered. And you say, when you speak to persons purposefully being disruptive so as to hinder the agenda of the incoming government, perhaps it's a time for us to consider certain positions being political appointed, extend the norm of political appointees so as to secure and guarantee that the agenda is fulfilled. Could that be an option?
Well, of course, that can be an option, but I think let's lean more to appraisals. Do we appraise these people? Do we hold these people accountable? I mean, when you have a minister who is being asked a legitimate question, like, when do we expect the St. Jude's Hospital to be completed? And he opens his mouth and says, well, when we build it, when it finish, it finish. You will see it when you see it. I mean, it almost sounds like it's a wing in his own house that he's building, and we have asked him his personal business. And his boss does not call him up and say, look, you cannot speak to the people like that because these are taxpayers and we owe them that explanation. So the appraisal for me is a problem, because honestly, if we are appraising these people and we use whatever metric system you want to use, then we can downgrade these people, fire these people. I mean, I've heard people say a number of times that when you work in the public service,
you can't get fired. Yes, that is an illusion.
And as a professional, and any professional that has a sort of assault to his or her profession, I do not want to work with the public service.
Exactly.
For me, I can learn and grow in the private
sector.
Because the public service is a joke. You mean to tell me if I disagree with my supervisor, if I say something, if I say, well, I think the SLP party handled this better, or somebody says, no, I think UWP handled it better because of X and Y, then rest assured, you will not be promoted for 45
you will
years.
Not be,
there
you will be reprimanded,
in the same position, and they are being victimized not because of their performance, it's because of their party affiliation. So for me, the public sector is a real bobo, and that is what I think a lot of focus needs to be placed there, and where we can develop some systems to cure it. Yeah?
Has to be fixed. Has to be fixed. Must be fixed. Thank you, caller. And Charmaine, she alluded to a lot of serious,
a lot of serious stuff, work ethics, and mind you, this is her sentiments has always been my sentiments, because for me, having experienced both sides of the fray, I have worked within the public sector and within the private sector, and I always say to people, the emphasis that they place on work ethics, going the extra mile, following company procedure and certain things. There are a lot of things that you would not get away with in the private sector, because it's about profits, margins, and what have you. If they don't make money and you're not the source of making money, it's like you're out. However, for the public service, there's this complacency where people believe that they just come to work, it's the government, and like you rightly said, they can't be fired, so they come to work at any time, they take breaks at any time. It's like, I just work for myself. And like she rightly said, if we don't solve these issues in a holistic manner, where we run the public sector as if it were the private sector. You need to you need to be punctual. You need to be you need to be consistent within your being present at work. You need to be accountable for deadlines for submission for work. You know, you call a government ministry and you have a phone ringing endlessly, which is not something that you would have happen at a private sector. There's so many issues, and like you said,
so in essence, we see, like, you would agree that a more vigorous appraisal
approach,
and even a more transparent policy would would be a step in the right direction. Because I mean, I have a notice there from the Division of Transport. It raised the Division of Transport wishes to inform the public that its northern office located at Union Castries will be closed from Friday the 24th until further notice. Please note that the southern office will be open my phone went. Please note that the southern office will be open for customers to conduct transactions. Customers are encouraged to use the online DigiGov platform at www.digigov.governmentlc to conduct a driver's license transaction. ICT Center, Moshi, Ancillary, Miku, Soufre, and Viewfort can also be used to process driver's licenses, I figure. Shit, my phone keep going dead. Sorry about that. Related to the transaction, all theory and practical exams scheduled for Castries have been suspended. The Division of Transport apologizes for the inconvenience caused by disclosure. That's a notice coming in today.
There must be something.
Yeah, Shams, and back to the civil service.
And then
for
you were
years
talking
now,
about appraisals, which is where you find that problem that lies where you may have somebody who gives a greater output, who is more committed to the job, but because this other person knows somebody, they will be promoted. I think appraisals is the way to go.
But really, we cannot continue. And she noted in terms of how much connection, how destructive connection could be in terms of our thrust forward as a people, as a country. It cannot be a country or a system where the better connected get through as opposed to the best qualified.
Because
and for years now, we have that in this country. This is something we've had to battle with. And it takes away from your performance and your capacity to be your best.
Because that automatically demotivates somebody within a department if you know that I have been toiling.
Hold on, we have a call. Let's take our call. Good night, caller. You on? Oh, we lost that call. Let me just say, yes. Good night, caller. You on?
Good night, Tim.
Yes, my brother.
Good night, Shamin.
Good night.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Yeah, Tim.
Yeah, my brother.
What these people are actually, what they did with our money, how do you call that?
What they did with our?
The 7 million. The $7 million, the 600 and something dollars. How do you call that?
That's a blatant giveaway.
That's a giveaway?
Yeah, man.
So when the little, that's not given away. When the little man do it, when the little man touch $100, we call him a thief.
A thief. Oh, you mean well, giveaway in terms of unwarranted give,
that is highway robbery. Highway robbery. I mean, when you look at our country right now, is suffering for finance. We have no cruise ship. We have no cargo boats coming in. Very few cargo boats coming in. The harbor always empty. Like Sir John say, anytime you see the harbor is empty, that means the country is suffering financially. You know, financially income. There's no income from the harbor. So when you have a little, not a little, but when you have that amount of money just given away to somebody, and then, you know, the vaccine, we never received that vaccine. I mean, this is blatant dishonest by the highest level. You know? Tim, it's a shame. It's a shame, it's a crying shame to see what has taken place in our country.
What we have on, we too must take in part responsibility because it happened also because of our inaction.
Yes. So I mean, personally, I want my money back.
I think we all want our money back.
I want my money back. I want to know where that money gone to. Exactly. We need, because they're calling for us to close down the country.
Yes.
Which I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that we need to do is to make sure that if we close down for 2 weeks, that we could go around and give our people that they need food to eat.
Food, exactly. Where's that money?
So we could have what you call some of those maybe hotels that is shut, use what the kitchens and so on.
Yes.
And actually have containers of food, get macaroni, rice, provision, whatever, and do a free meal cost for the day for those persons in need.
But I agree to in terms of providing for our people, I totally agree to that. But in terms of how you provide, because I am one who believes that person's pride and dignity must be protected at almost all costs.
Yes.
And so,
Jim,
yeah, my brother.
I was watching a program on the BBC. They had that program on the cost of the vaccine. And the Johnson & Johnson, right? They were giving you the random costs on those vaccines. And the Johnson & Johnson was just about $1 a dose.
So we have to purchase a $78 one.
Yes, $1 a dose. And one of the good things about the Caribbean people, they're good at begging.
Yes.
We're good at begging. We are professionally in that trade. We don't have to go and buy vaccine.
We could beg.
We could beg.
We can beg. We can beg. We can beg well.
And most times,
why we should take money that we don't have
and go buy
and go and give it to a foreigner to go and source something that we have never seen.
Most times begging costs us more than the legitimate costing. Yeah, a jabasak.
A jabasak?
Yes.
You know? I mean, the ghetto boy will not do that.
Yeah.
No,
when he go and buy his ounce of weed, he tell you straight, let me see the weed first before I pay you.
Yes.
You smell it, you do everything, you make sure. A prime minister would take $7 million and give it to somebody to bring down something for you that you have never seen.
You've never seen.
And his due diligence was that he know the individual. The individual.
Yes. So the Belgian right now is telling us, how stupid the solution people can be.
Can be.
You understand? Because the Belgians say, bring the product, boy.
Yeah, bring the vaccines and then I will pay you. Yes,
I will pay you when I see this thing down in my country. But we're going to take not 7,000, you know, not $7 million, you know, Papa. And you know how many people are hungry today in our country? That's why we want our money back.
We want our money back.
We want our money back. Wherever they take that money to, it is not about political party fighting this one and that. It's about
the right thing.
The solution money. We want it back.
We want
and
it back.
Case closed.
Yes.
My brother, we need to stand up against that.
We have to stand up against
that. You and Tim have a good night.
Thank you, caller.
You too, caller.
Let me say that was our last call. I think for the night. Let me just say good night to a few persons there from Lastic Hill, my neighboring community. You have Priska, Wanda, Jana, Wanda the teacher. You help shape minds. So, like I appreciate teachers immensely. You know, we have Miss Luviska from London. And her sister Lucy, she said she's very avid listeners. I've missed out twice on shouting her out. I could not afford to let it happen tonight. Claudia, a market vendor. Claudia is this lady who during the mayor's, and how should I say it? During the mayor's dark tenure, I think there was a situation where she was sitting on her tree, demanding her right to sell and conduct business in her spot. Michael, there in the SAB, my uncle, Miss Linda in the arcade, Errol King, Dwayne in London. I know you real patriotic, you holding on. Never mind the packages you have for these differently able persons. It's just a matter of time before we get linked up so as for me to help facilitate that. Thank you, my brother. Shaman, you have anybody you want to shout out?
I want to say good night to Miss Lena. I want to say good night to Miss Joan. I also want to say good night to my neighbors in the CDC, Deborah, Baba. I like to say big up to Sauti, Master Wong, Pool. You laid your grandmother to rest, I think yesterday or today. I like to say condolences again, and I know you're listening. To my son Talib, to Emish, just know that we're going to be keeping you informed, keeping you abreast with what's going on in the country. It's nice having you as part of our audience, and a pleasant good night to you once again.
Yeah, Shams, you see your son. I just remember tonight I personally engaged my daughter to make sure she hold on. So Kira, yo, know that daddy love you for life, you know what I mean? You're the blood in my veins. So you, a strength for me to keep going on, and I think that should be the attitude of every parent with every child. It's about you, my girl, not me, and I'll do everything to make sure that you got not just better than what I had, but everything I didn't have. Good night and God bless.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses.